Hello and welcome back to the shop. Many of you know that I'm doing this full time now. Building Inkleind is my full focus. And many of you also know that one of the first things I did in that new situation is build a conference display to show off Pica screws and the twin turbo vise at the Texas Woodworking Festival. That went amazingly. I have to really thank Katz Moses Tools, Jonathan Katz Moses, for giving me a space in his booth. It was amazing. Thanks, man. And also Jason Hibbs, Bourbon Moth, for selling Pica screws when I stepped away. That was priceless. Thank you so much.
Isn't that crazy?
What is that for?
Anything you want it to be for. It's like decorative. It's basically,
Like, it could be the perfect accent on any piece. You can't even tell that it's a fastener.
And it happens that the very last thing I did for Magswitch as a Magswitch employee was build them a conference display with Pica screws for FabTech. So I thought I would show that build while I talk about why I left. When I say left, what I mean is resigned my position as Vice President of Maker Products, the person responsible for all of the strategy and innovation for all the primarily woodworking, but to some extent welding products that Magswitch sells. It's impossible to overstate how much of a dream job that was. I love the Magswitch technology. Like 13 years ago, every Christmas present that I asked for was a woodworking tool, and one of them was this magnetic featherboard. I actually thought it had batteries. I didn't know how a magnet could turn on and off. I just thought that was the most amazing thing in the world. So being able to innovate and come up with ideas that maximize the utility of that Magswitch technology for woodworking was just amazing. So why, you might ask, would I give that up? Well, turns out I don't need to. Inkleind and Magswitch are on great terms, always have been. The two businesses collaborate a lot and will continue to do so. Magswitch has manufactured a lot of products for me. If you bought a twin turbo vise in the last couple of years, it's better because Magswitch helped me with manufacturing. And we've got lots more cool stuff in the works I can't talk about right now for both Inkleind and Magswitch. Anyway, I can still use Magswitch as a manufacturing partner, and they still want me to consult, come up with new ideas, and share those. So the part of the job that I loved best, I still get to do. And it's better than that even for Inkleind and Magswitch. For Inkleind, I get to be a Magswitch dealer. Being a dealer for other brands is something that I've dipped a toe in with Inkleind, just a little bit, with the white side rabbiting router bit set. I decided to start selling this because it's really useful making a twin turbo vise jaw, so I thought, why don't I just carry it? And that gave me the opportunity to come up with a really cool 3D printed and laser cut storage system that I started selling last year. You know, if you're watching this on Black Friday, there's probably a discount on that. These miters on the ends of 3/4 inch squared pieces of wood are going to get a threaded insert for 5/16 inch threads. This is really pushing it on size. The clamp that I have on here is absolutely necessary to keep it from splitting apart, but I proved it could be done. It worked on all of them, so I would call that about the limit, 3/4 of an inch, but can be done. Being a dealer for every brand under the sun and just selling them like lots of other companies do is not all that interesting to me, but selectively carrying products for a company that I can do some innovation for to have add-ons like the storage solution. Like, I really like that model. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it that way. And Magswitch is the perfect opportunity to do that kind of stuff because I know the products so well, I've been thinking about them. So I'm going to start off carrying two Magswitch products. The first is the Saver push block. This is a great push block. You've seen it on my fence the last year roughly. It's got an MDF base that so you don't worry about passing it close to the blade. If you have a cut that's going to chew up the base, that's not a problem because it's MDF. Further, not a problem because Magswitch makes a 4-pack of replacements. I've used a couple of these. I'm also carrying this. So I just think it's a fantastic push block. The reason I have two The one in the front is partially chewed up, so I'll use this for cuts that would chew up the left side of the heel. And then this one is fresh. So I have both at the ready, and the docks can be moved out of the way real fast if it's in the way. I really like it. The one little problem with this, once you start chewing up the heel of the push block, it no longer stays in the dock. So the little improvement that I'm going to have as an optional accessory is this stand that can be pretty quickly added to the base. You drill a couple holes and there's an insert that goes in the injection mold. It's really easy to do. So check that out. Again, if you're watching this on Black Friday, there's probably a deal on it. This is great for Magswitch too. If nobody really buys it, then it's not that big of an issue. But if I sell a whole lot of them, then I can share that data with Magswitch, and maybe someday they'll prioritize an upgrade for it. We'll see. Magswitch product number 2 is the Saver Featherboard. This is the featherboard that we came up with that locks to the miter slot, but does it as quickly, actually even a little quicker than the magnetic version, because you got to turn 2 switches instead of just 1 cam. I do reach for this. If I have to do a ton of repositioning and being anchored to the miter slot isn't going to get in the way, it's a fantastic featherboard, and if you have an aluminum top saw, I highly recommend it. You probably notice that I have another upgrade to this one attached in the same way. Let's take an actual look at that assembly. The 2 inserts that fit into the injection mold recesses are glued in, and then an 1/8 inch drill bit is used to drill a hole through the body using those inserts as guides. I put some glue on the add-on and attach it with 2 screws. Full disclosure, this was a really tight fit. Design was kind of tricky, and a couple licks with a file might be needed on that screw head to flush it with the bottom of the featherboard. So let me show you what this does. Many of you have guessed that it's a micro-adjustable bump foot for miter gauge cuts. And you're right, but it does more than that. After the outside stop is locked into place at the width of your saw's kerf, it's very fast to set up the other stop to cut a slot that exactly fits the piece to be glued in. The slots are then cut by touching the workpiece to each of the 2 bump feet and making a cut after each one to define the outside of the slot, and then passes to remove the material in between. So again, if this is popular, Magswitch could consider making a more polished version of it someday. So there it is. Check these out with their upgrades. Link in description. If you're watching this on Black Friday, there's a sale on the upgrades, on the Magswitch stuff, on everything I carry. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting me. Being able to do this full time is a dream come true. A 20-year in the works dream come true to make my career what I want it to be. Maybe someday I'll tell the full story. For now, I really appreciate your support. I'm going to do my absolute best to keep coming up with cool stuff and use this opportunity to really show you some interesting things. So thanks for everything. I'll catch you next time. Oh, hang on though. Got all excited about selling stuff and I didn't finish the build. I've got to glue up the cross pieces and then cut a mortise and tenon that slips together at the base for one of the assembled connections that doesn't have a pica screw. The only one, actually. All the other ones are pica screws into threaded inserts. So it's really easy to get together, and I'm more convinced than ever that there are a lot of companies out there, if they knew all the benefits, would like conference displays that join up with pica screws. It's real easy to put something together, take it apart, and they just look really cool. So, this is really the end this time. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.